How does a salaried person become wealthy? Most often, businessmen grow wealthier than others. But how does a person on a salary become wealthy? Compared to salaried people, smart businessmen tend to become wealthy more frequently. Yes, smart is the key to being rich. One must manage their revenue, paycheck wisely. Rich, intelligent businessmen have a tendency to manage their revenue better. It's because of two things. Business people are more concerned with money. They have more options to make better use of their income. Focused on money. Running a business to make money differs from working a job and collecting a paycheck. Both probably produce the same amount of work. However, effective businessmen are more productive. So would it be appropriate to say anything like this? All businessmen are wealthier than wage earners. No. Which statement will be appropriate? Wise businessmen are wealthier? A more accurate statement would be, a smart employee can have the same wealth as a smart businessman. So now we have a new question. How can a salary earner become wealthy? The answer is to manage your finances wisely. Now, let's know the ways by which getting wealthy for a salaried person is possible. Number 1, treat your job as business. Business? Not that nonsense again. Know this idea already? You already want to stop reading and turn the page. I know. Give me a chance though. Let me explain how a salaried employee can approach a company. So let's begin with the very beginning. How do most people manage their finances? When the paycheck arrives, money is set aside for expenses. This is an issue. Spending cash is okay. Perhaps the reason we work is to have money to spend on tasks we enjoy. So where is the issue? The issue is how money is divided into expenses. The basic principle is that money must first be put to productive use before being spent. When I say our paycheck, I mean every single dollar that we get each month and every month, year after year. What kind of job done for cash is useful? Establishing a business. However, in this video, aren't we talking about those who are employed? Yes. How can they start a business? The work they do for a living defines their business. People who are paid a salary need to approach their employment as their own business. It will significantly change everything. This is the initial step. See, you thought doing a business was straightforward. We are now prepared for level 2. Number 2, make a first pay yourself account. The bank account where all income must go is known as pay yourself account. Yes, pay yourself first a full 100% of all earnings. What distinguishes our salary account from a pay yourself account? There is not much of a difference technically, except that the way money is handled in a pay yourself account is very different. Prepare yourself to forget what you already know. Create a pay yourself account instead of a salary account because you are treating your employment like a business. It's all in the mind. As a great man once pointed out, things will go as planned if we have the right mindset. Money from the pay yourself account are handed out for completing useful tasks. The distribution of the funds in 3 separate heads. Business development, putting money back into the company. Tax liability, a tax liability must be divided up. Invest money, all funds must be put into investments. Oh no, what about our favorite home expenses? Your observation is accurate, yes. Household expenses do not have their own heading. Forget about household costs for a time. Don't worry, we'll take care of it too. Money for home expenses will be allocated, but last. Absolutely, we won't miss it. I assure you that it is a practical strategy. Keep in mind the lesson we are trying to learn. How can a person on a salary become wealthy? It is not such a goal that can be achieved by continuing to do our normal things. We must do things differently. Let's first allow our paycheck to do some useful work for us. Number 3, growth of the business. What do you do for a living? A job is a business for salaried people. The term retained earnings refers to money that a businessman reinvests back into the company. How are retained earnings utilized by businesses? They use it for working capital, purchasing assets, and debt forgiveness, etc. How does one make use of retained earnings in order to grow a business? Using a few examples, let me explain. Example 1. Suppose you are Virat Kohli. What do you do for a living? Cricket match. Virat Kohli wants to use his money to be in better shape. Why? Thus, he will be able to play cricket more effectively. This means that future earnings will be higher than current earnings. Example 2. Suppose you are Rajkumar Rao. What is your job or business? Acting. He will like to use his retained earnings to improve the following: acting skills, fitness, skills. This in turn will help him become more likable for his audience. Means that future earnings will be higher than current earnings. Example 3. Suppose you're a medical doctor. What is your job or business? Treating patients. A doctor would like to use his retained earnings to update his medical knowledge. This in turn will help him treat his patients better. Means more future income than today. Example 4. Suppose you're a software engineer. What is your job or business? Coding softwares. A software engineer would like to use his retained earnings to improve his or her coding skills. This in turn will help him to write more effective and lighter codes in less time. Such skills can make a person more valuable for his employee. This will eventually translate into more future income than today. To conclude the topic of business development, reinvestment is the key. The point is that businessmen put a portion of their money back into their companies to keep them open and expanding. A salaried individual must as well reinvest some of his income into himself in a similar manner. What do we typically do? We do not at all reinvest. Why? We believe it is the responsibility of our company to accomplish it. Absolutely true. However, doing it by yourself is a more reliable way for a hired person to get wealthy. Stop awaiting the company. If so, that's good. If not, you'll handle it on your own. Why? Since it is not your job to do what you do. You treat it as if it were your business. Reinvestment is essential for a business to thrive constantly. Did you note step 1 and step 2 are totally in your control? Now step 3 is even easier. Number 4, tax payment. There are no tax havens for ethical common people. It's always better to be tax ready. How to do it? Simple. Maintain a separate tax account. Like you have a salary account and pay yourself account, create a tax account. What must go in the tax account? As a rule of thumb, transfer at least 12% of your income to a tax account. Example, suppose your monthly paycheck is 50,000 rupees. Transfer 6,000 rupees or 12% to tax account. As the income grows, the transfer percentage must also grow. Just for example, when income is less than 75,000, 15%. When income is less than 1 lakh, 20%. When income is more than 1 lakh, 30%. What is the objective? To remain tax ready always. Being tax ready does not only mean keeping money in a tax account, needful tax must also be paid on time. Number 5, tax evasion. There is a perception that wealthy people find ways to escape paying taxes. So, they make a lower payment than is truly required. Evading taxes is illegal. It slowly begins to irritate one over time. Tax evasion is likely less of an issue than the psychological toll it takes on the mind of the evader, whether they are wealthy or not. A person who receives a salary already has too much on their plate. Why to add more by evading taxes? Have peace of mind by letting the government collect what is owed. This peace of mind can be extremely beneficial to us. Instead of concentrating on tax evasion schemes, it will allow us to concentrate on the appropriate things such as how to get wealthy. Number 6, tax savings. We cannot evade tax, but tax can be saved. There are several lawful ways in which we can reduce our tax liability. Government allows us to reduce tax liability in the following ways. Invest in certain things and claim tax deduction. Spend on certain things and claim tax deduction. Few examples are as below. Investing in EPF, PPF, NSC, FD, ELSS, etc. Spending in life insurance, medical insurance, home loan, etc. But remember that investment and spending to save tax should not be done from a tax account. This requirement will be managed from elsewhere. Savings in a tax account must be used only to pay advance tax. If this account is overflowing with money, enjoy watching it, but do not touch it till you are rich. So, you are actually beginning to think like a businessman. You are not only investing to improve your skills, but are also contributing to the nation by paying the due taxes. Number 7. Invest money. The balance money must be used for investment. Why invest money? For the following objectives: financial independence, capital appreciation fund, income generation. Yes, it is important to bifurcate the money meant for investment into 3 heads. 1. Dedicated to financial independence. 2nd, dedicated to earning capital appreciation. 3rd, focused on buying income-generating assets. Bifurcating funds like this will help one to take care of all priorities of life. How? Keep watching our Brain Drain videos. Financial Independence Fund. This will ensure a decent standard of living after retirement. How to build a financial independence fund? One can invest in the following investment options. Example: Employee Provident Fund, EPF, Employee Pension Scheme, EPS, Balanced Mutual Fund. Capital Appreciation Fund. This will ensure availability of funds for managing certain priorities of life like down payment for home, car purchase, higher education for children, child's marriage, etc. How to build a capital appreciation fund? One can invest in the following investment options depending upon the available time horizon. Short-term goals: less than 3 years, bank deposits, FD or RD, debt-linked mutual funds, medical insurance, endowment plans. Medium-term goals: less than 7 years, balanced mutual funds, ELSS. Long-term goals: greater than 7 years, equity-linked mutual funds, stocks, purchase a residential property, and gold. Income generation fund. This is where the rich people kill it. People who are rich have a huge asset base. These are all income generating assets. There is a difference between asset and income generating asset. Assets can do 2 things for us. They can provide capital appreciation and they can generate regular income. Assets which generate regular income are called income generating assets. To become rich, we must have loads of income generating assets in our investment portfolio. The income from these assets supports the standard of living of rich people. So, if you thought that rich people lead a lavish life because they have high paycheck, then you were wrong. They live a lavish life thanks to the passive income coming from their income generating assets. It's their passive income that let them do the following human things: pay bills, buy groceries, pay fees, fuel car, pay EMIs, buy vacations, shopping, etc. So how can a salaried person become rich? By handling money in a smart way. What is the smart way? Invest in yourself, business, pay your taxes, protect your retirement, manage other goals, have loads of income generating assets. To become rich, one must divert one's income to buy income generating assets. These assets in turn will generate passive income. The bigger the passive income, the richer the person. Rich people, like Warren Buffett, they do not overspend. Yes, it is true. They may seem to be living a lavish life, but they do it as they can afford it. Number 1 rule for becoming rich is to first stop overspending money. If one can do this, balance will begin to fall in place. I hope this video will be beneficial for salaried employees. Thank you, Brain Drain family. If you like this video, then do like the video and subscribe to the channel immediately. If there is any topic on which you want to see our video, then do tell us by commenting. See you soon with another amazing video.